Hello friends, hello loyal audience, and now we're going to continue video number 11 of the commentary on the Matrix Unloaded or Matrix Dissected movie. That iconic movie is supposedly that people understood to be like a catharsis from whatever prison we're in, or liberation and freedom and so on. Turns out to be the horror. Turns out to be horror. Okay, so I got few points to make. So if you recall, I explained to you, I showed you what the oracle means, or pointed you toward what the oracle means by "you have the gift," right? She says, "Yeah, you have the gift." And I showed you in the elevator how Neo's eyes conform to those demon's eyes drawn on the wall, and how they blend together and so on, and they indicate to you that's who it is. And whatever is in is a blind person that is sitting outside that can see by the eye of the mind. Somehow he doesn't need eyes. He's a blind person, but he sees when Morpheus nodded and so on. And then and again in the magazine. But here at the beginning, actually, Morpheus tells Neo about this thing that he's looking for, the one that is really residing within Neo here, right? Right? And then he explains it to him. First, it doesn't make sense, and I obviously have a better handle on it now. So let's uh, let's let me play this particular scene and then explain it to you.
I know exactly what you mean. Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something.
I know exactly what you mean, and then you saw the I made fun of the thundering and lightning and so on, right? But here you'd see it also when Neo was in a steel cage, right, that he cannot exit from, and then it started lightning, like there was a storm. So what's in him is whenever Morpheus is talking to the one inside, or talking to Neo, trying to deceive Neo into unleashing what's inside, right? I'll tell you what Neo is doing a little bit later.
What you know you can't explain.
Yeah, well, we all know we have a spirit within us, right? We call it, sometimes they call it unconscious, right? The unconscious, or subliminal and so on. Inner mind sometimes, or inner eye, or something of the sort. There is some truth to that. When we were created, we are, as a matter of fact, as we're told in the Quran, and that's the first time it appears in history, that we are a mix, an amalgamation of physical being that's animalistic, right? But then we have a spirit in us that Allah or God blew His spirit out of His spirit into us, right? So we are two things. There is the spirit, and we are made of dust and clay. So we're amalgamation of the two. But there's a third element, which is qareen, qaf. I explained to you qaf in the previous video, but there's another thing that starts with qaf, qareen, or the double. We have a double, right? That is always with us, and that is it's there's no ready explanation for that. It'll take a little while, and citations of certain sources and so on. So I'm not going to explain that. But that's what Morpheus is alluding to here.
You feel it.
You feel it. Yeah, we all feel it, right?
You felt it your entire life.
That's right, because we were born with it, right? In fact, it's inserted into us, or blown into us, that spirit, when we were in the wombs of our mothers.
There's something wrong.
Something wrong with the world.
You don't.
So there's another dimension, is what he's trying to say. True, there are angels and there are demons and so on and so forth. So whenever you hear that in novels like Angels and Demons and so on, this is now no new subject. This is a religious subject. Was born in Islam itself.
Know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind.
Like a splinter in your mind. I showed you when you looked at the magazine that in the dark place, and the back of the head is open, and there's that entity in it. And then, of course, there is in the elevator. So that's the splinter in the mind, really, here. The splinter in the mind is that there's something within, right? And splinter usually is described as a rogue person, or a splinter group, or something of the sort. Let me find the definition. Give me a second. Okay, one of the definitions, dictionary definitions or English definitions of splinters is this: of a group or organization separate into smaller units, typically as a result of disagreement. The party had begun to splinter into factions. So that's one of the definitions. Splinter, also, I don't know. I think there's some kind of a superhero, those fictional superhero called Splinter. He splintered. So that's what he means by a splinter, like a splinter in your mind. So those spirits are a splinter from what I don't know yet, right? But I know, but I don't, he doesn't show it here. What he means by that is those splinters are the angels, right? Or perhaps the agents, angels and agents, as I explained to you. But Morpheus doesn't like that, he wants that Neo to actually be disconnected from that spirit, and then he owns him and use him like a dog. What I'm saying is that Morpheus is not looking out to free Neo. Oh, no, no, no. He's looking out to change the transfer of title of ownership from God and angels into his own, right? So he could become a rebellious angel against God, right? That's what he's trying to do. It's not driving him mad. I mean, I know I have a spirit and it's not driving me mad. So that what brought him here is really that spirit within him, or the angel within him, is what he's trying to say. Brought him to him.
You know what I'm talking about? Matrix.
Did you hear that the background storm, lightning and thundering and so on?
Do you want to know what it is?
What it is, not the Matrix. I think he was trying to say, Neo guessed wrong, it's the Matrix. But Morpheus is saying, do you know what it is, right? The thing that is a splinter in your mind.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room.
That's himself, right? And there it is. Once they said it's in this very room, there is your what is it? Let me find it. Give me a second. So here, what he means by that is gates of hell. This is a gate of hell, right? As you can see it, the fireplace and gate of hell, and right. And Morpheus apparently lives there, and he wants shapeshifter here wants Neo. He wants to dump him in there, or his clones for that matter, right?
You can see it when you.
Here Neo is so uninitiated and so inexperienced and so blinded and so deafened and so muted and so isolated and so deprived of anything that makes a human, right? He's basically blank. He here, when it comes to argumentation and understanding and whatnot, he stands no chance. Once he fell into the hand of Morpheus, it's a matter of a few minutes, Roy. Maybe an hour, maybe a year, I don't know. But this guy simply cannot discern or decipher or process the psychological spins and effects and tricks and whatever it is that this Morpheus is playing on him, is throwing at him. He's throwing a net over him, and Neo doesn't even see it. This guy is a master of deception. He's the devil. Let's put it this way. Rabbi Morpheus, shapeshifter. So poor Neo. I mean, I can't blame Neo because he was never initiated into by father, or nobody told him to be careful of anything. Nobody told him not to do this thing. Nobody told him, be careful. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do that, and so on. And sometimes maybe he's an orphan. Maybe he just grew an orphan and was kidnapped or adopted or whatever it is by people who doesn't care for his well-being. They just fed him and took some money from the state or whatnot. Right? You know the story, right? But that is the gate of hell here. This is where they worship. Sometimes, they go bow down to this place here and so on and so forth. But That's this whole course, this whole discourse I just made about here is that Morpheus is talking about what's inside of him, but he's got a problem. He's trying to go past the human Neo into the what's inside Neo, what he's making an assumption of as inside Neo, like this fallen angel, this one big one that can change things, right? So now he's struggling. He wants to deceive this guy into surrendering what's inside to become like bootlicker for Morpheus, right? And once he's finished with him, of course, he's going to destroy him.
Look out your window, or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth.
That's not true. The truth is always there. You just have to know it, and you've been told. You just have to go look where they told you not to look.
What truth?
So when he says, what truth? Notice, when he says, right? Notice, when he says, what truth? He only shows one eye.
What truth?
You see? Is that the truth? Is that the truth he's talking about here? Just the one eye monster. Now it's tilted upward. Now notice the reflection on Neo's sunglasses. You see those two blazing eyes, green? I don't know. They look like not even a cat. You see them? Now Morpheus is looking weird, man. This guy's a devil. Notice. And here, it's like, those how they illustrate those devils or genies? They have like hair in the middle here, sticking out, a braid and whatever it is, and bald head, right? Bald head, remember? And in the ears, he have like big ears with earrings in them, right? Remember the devil? I think that's like Sinbad or, Three Wishes and whatnot, right?
That you are a slave, Neo.
Slave, he's just telling him, Neo, you are a slave to him, to Morpheus, but you have to sense that and then bow down, put your head on the ground and lick boot for Morpheus and then die for him. That's what he's telling him. For Morpheus, he thinks this is the truth. This guy has no idea what he's talking about. But he'll make him swallow that pill and it's all over.
Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot.
So he wants him to become a rebellious angel, right? It's fight against God and law and, and family and everything else. He's what Morpheus is trying to make him is very simple. If you watch that movie, Planet of the Apes, and then humans are marauding in the cornfields, and then the monkeys or Morpheuses, right? Like they try to hunt them down and so on. What Morpheus is trying to make of humanity is just those humans in the Planet of the Apes, and then they're running in the cornfield, like animals. That's what Morpheus is hoping to achieve. You cannot taste or touch because it's spiritual, right? A prison. What's the prison? Where he put him in? Remember where he put Neo into a prison, or his clone, right? Into a prison of steel that he cannot leave from? That's what he's telling him. There comes back the green eyes, right? Or whatever they are, right? And this weird looking animal creature. All right.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
As usual, he'll never get an answer. Okay. So here I wanted to show you, the other day I didn't have enough or correct lighting, but this here, this disc that he's going to give him is what I described as disc 067 or 1967 for that matter. Let me scroll it slowly, see if I can get somewhere with that. You see it? No, actually, so there's 58. That's all these years are in preparation for 67. I can't read those. Maybe if you have a high definition TV, duck this year. I don't like it. So you can see it here. You can see it here. It's 1967, right? 1967. All right. So, and of course, you associate that with the Assad on the screen. So you got your Assad or donkey of Syria, Hafiz al-Assad, and you got Asma Akhras, and then you got Bashar, and then you got the 1967. Here, 1658, I don't know what the heck that is. All right, I'm gonna revisit this particular scene because I want you to really grasp, grasp the meaning of it. So now he's entrapped in a steel cage, right? He cannot leave from, or so they think, right? But then what they have trapped in this steel cage is that big spirit, that big entity that is supposedly within Neo himself, right? But notice, you're training, and he shows the one eye, right? Now here, Neo is always he asks questions and he never gets answers. His logic is still within him, even though he's a clone. He still have that human brain, and we're endowed with spirit or not, or whatnot, right? Or whatever we are. But his logic and his reasoning is disabled. Why? Because he was always alone, mentally, psychologically, financially, socially. He was all alone, yet he was supposedly abused. He was heavily abused, right? So now he's awakening, like he tries to start up or crank up his logic, but he just can't, right? There's so much going on around him that he's blinded, right? I can't get enough from that look. I got you there, sucker. Do you see it? You see that look? That look is loathsome. Lothsome. Loath. That is hate. If what he's trying to say here, oh, you just wait, the things I'm gonna do to you. But notice, that particular cell, steel cell that he is imprisoned, he is like, for Morpheus, he's just entrapped or trapped, Trapped, trapped a godlike entity, right? Notice it's like there's flashing and lightning, right? Within that cell. Huh? See? You see that, right? You see that? So what Morpheus is saying, oh, we have you there, you just don't realize it. Oh, he does. I know Neo does. Okay, here you will see this particular woman, right? Or girl. This very particular one. I think you've seen before. She's walking next to the guy who is bowing down to Morpheus, right? Now the only rogue agent or angel is this guy here. They're showing it to you. He eventually bumps into Morpheus, into Neo, right? But this woman here, pay attention to. She's gonna come up again. Oh, he just bowed out. So pay attention to this cutie here. Cutie. In real life, she's cutie, right? But who she is representing is not a cutie. It's something of amalgamation. The upper half is a man and the lower half is a woman. I'll tell you who that is later. So here you see the keep clear. Keep clear means that place here. If you stumble upon by mistake, you're gone. Well, that's where Mossad or Zion conducts his business, along with the shapeshifter Morpheus. So, so if you keep clear, or if you stumble upon it, I think this is it for you. That's funny. That's very funny. All right. Okay, I do think I have a better handle on this scene now. Yesterday I told you they're his children and his clones and whatever, right? Whatever I said in the previous video, video number 10. But today I have a different opinion, right? I have a different handle on it. So I'm gonna view it from a different from a different perspective, diametrically opposing what I did yesterday. And here, I don't know, I think there's like uh, uh, some kind of a lizard, right? Uh, I don't know, lizard, and there's a knife or something like that. Somebody's got him. Yeah. He's a lizard. He's a dinosaur. All right. So now, like I explained yesterday, as is, right? Uh, but today I am thinking this woman is looking at him and telling him, "This is you, Neo. This baby here that she's holding, like a caring mother and loving mother and so on, is saying, this is you, Neo, right? So let's make an assumption today that, whatever I said yesterday or in that video number 10, I'm going to go about it differently here. What they're saying here is that you, but then who are you? This is who you are. Do you remember there was the program called This Is Your Life? So this here is your life, who you are. Now I'm gonna go back to that movie, try to become famous again. All right, so what they're saying who he is really a Eurasian, right? Eurasian, right? Hey, I got some that in me, right? They're saying he's a computer whiz, right? Well, guess what? I know computers, right? And then here the chess. Well, I don't play much chess, right? But I think what that means is he's a maneuvering type person, meaning he's very capable in maneuvering and playing the game of minds, right? Uh,
These are the other potential. You can wait here.
well, what she said now also refutes or repudiates what I just said about him being that baby and they're telling him who he is, right? But that doesn't completely nullify my theory here. So that's one of his, and I got on of my ancestors, I got stuff like that, right? Both actually, mother and are on the side of the mother and the father. Hey, so that's me again. This here looks like God knows, looks like also through my mother's side, I got something like this as well. Maybe from India, I don't know, Kashmir. Poor dumbfounded Neo here. I'm not dumb. And I think these are the ones who gave birth to him. So they look like the ones that gave me birth, right? Uh, and that's what that means, rabbits, rabbits, they're giving birth to rabbits. So I am one of those rabbits. I don't know about those. What I would try to do is replace the letter by a number in the letter alphabet, in the alphabet. So V would be what? U, V, W, X, Y, Z. So it'll be like 24 or whatnot, right? J would be number so on. So I would change all that, and see what that means. I don't know what that means, to be honest with you, really, right? But then here I am, right? And I think on my mother's side, they look like that actually. I have a certain child that looked like this, a weenie, a cutie, a beautiful, my youngest child, right? But here you see something standing on its side, right? Uh, uh, there's there's a picture of, I don't know who that is, but this seems like that's how we display the Quran on our displays, right? We are proud of displaying the Quran, so we put a copy of the Quran. So that's definitely me now. I don't know who that is, man. Looks like my aunt or something. And there's a birds, a couple of birds here, and there's a clock. But guess what? So I think what they're trying to say here is that's you, Neo. This is your ancestry. This is where you come from, and this is who you are. Blah 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 blah. I disagree about one thing because I personally know my Y chromosome is Arabic, right? It's from Arabs. That's how I become so dumb, right? Other than that, maybe I'm just like being too hopeful here, becoming famous on this movie, within this movie. So, well. But that's my take on it now. Is that that's what it is? Is that this is who you are, Neo? I said earlier, these are his children's or his clones or clones from him or clones like him. So he is holding the spoons, and that's very conclusive now from Mouse's conversation, and from what we know now is that these spoons are really broken male genitalia or male reproductive organ, right? Okay, it's a penis, right? That's what they're saying. And I kind of got confused about about uh, the boy, right? You know, Buddhism. But a couple of ideas hit me yesterday. Number one, Buddhists do believe in reincarnation, right? So maybe he's saying you're a reincarnation, is what he's saying. All right. Two, meaningly the one within, right? So the one within is one and the same that goes across ages and generations, but he is a reincarnation. Uh, Buddhist monks are always known to be asexual, non-sexual, uh, right? Non-sexual meaningly they don't practice sex at all. They have a habit of just being asexual or non-sexual, right? Buddhist monks are known so. They just keep doing what they're doing all their lives in the monasteries until the day they die, right? But they have no sex or anything else, so they kind of renounce that kind of lifestyle. For whatever reasons, I don't know, but I can't blame them for it. Uh, so he's a reincarnation. Now, one thing I want to say is that, uh, and these are the only two things I got out of it. Uh, so Buddhist monks like I said are non-sexual and they don't get married. Uh, they are celibate, right? But one thing I wanted to say here, right?
Do not try and bend the spoon. That's
So the boys here has blue eyes, right? So how come is a white person being a Buddhist monk? I mean, you really want to get the Buddhist monk who was playing, supposedly reading a book, right? Who was reading a book earlier in the scene. That befits, right? Because Buddhism is not really widespread in the West or at all. I mean, it's very rare, right? But this guy here has blue eyes. I had a feeling when I was watching him that the eyes are not exactly blue. Maybe they're digitally doctored, changed like, with those photo manipulation softwares. And maybe that's what it is. And the features look a lot similar, familiar to me here. I don't know who that is, but it does appear like I feel as if this boy is relative of mine from a distant, somehow he's related to me, right? I don't know. I'm just making this up here or just speculating, right? But the eyes, I look here very close. Sometimes I do see an older, the eyes and the mouth and the nose do indicate an older man, as if again he's that scene has been digitally manipulated to make him look like a young boy, right? They're always young, right? Is what they're trying to say here. I don't know, but that's what I have. I have a different bearing on it last night. It crossed my mind while I was, where, right, in, relieving myself. Okay, so there are many things to say about that, but the final say as actually would be the Kukukowskis telling you what this really here is, right? So the eyes are, like the features are close to me. I don't know, somehow I feel, this guy has a few generations back has been related to me, or I don't know. I have that feeling, I would feel that this guy or this boy is probably my child at one point. Feel that at one point I would feel, or somehow I would guess that this boy is my child, right? But I don't have blue eyes, so guess what? All right, so that's that. Okay, let's stop here, and now, of course, we'll continue. All right, we'll continue. So now, APAC says,
the Oracle gave you some good news.
I don't know why he gave him a gun. Didn't Morpheus tell him during that program where the agents arrested him, that same location, that he's seen people empty whole magazine in uh, 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 only to hit air, right? Because they're immune to bullets, is what he's saying. And as you can see, here is the, I think here is the uh, winged creature sitting on top of the earth, right? All right, here you can see like it's a squalid, abandoned place. Abandoned places, supposedly from what we know from the religion of Islam, is where, or the folklore, is where demons dwell. They don't dwell, they always dwell in places that are dark, where the sun doesn't shine, and they're run-down places.
Now left, that's it. Good.
And because they're demons, they enter the restroom, right? You know, that's what he's saying to you, really. Don't be offended, but that's the folklore, and that's what they're saying here in this movie, right? Is that Morpheus and company, they usually go through the sewer. Remember, that's where the hovercraft or the Nebuchadnezzar was. It's in the sewers. That's what Trinity told Neo when he asked. And that's the rabbi coat of Morpheus. He shed it because now he doesn't want to fight the fight or appear as a rabbi. That's a secret that he will die for.
Where are they?
You see? Now here you need to pay attention to something. If you look here, the side walls or the drywall boards are ribbed. They remind you of the Matrix. Remember when they move from one dimension to the other and they show you those green ribs, you know, lines and so on, and I call them wormholes. That's what I think this is here. You see, it's very similar. So they're moving slowly into the wormholes, right, that are shown when they move from one dimension into another. They show you that green thing, you know, and they transition through space or wormhole or time or whatever. Now, I want to doubt what's happening here. I think this is still in a simulation program, but it could be that those agents are the rogue agents and the ones that haven't yet submitted to bowed down and lick boot for Morpheus, right? Rabbi Morpheus, and that's who they are. So, so they're fighting them or something of the sort. But there's some really they reveal some important information here. I will tell you about. You know what? Let me freeze it. So this guy here, you will see him. You see him twice. This time, and he is a helicopter pilot. I think that's KIM, not KYM. And that's the guy who's talking on the phone when Neo is running, and then he snatches the phone from him, and he runs away when he's running for his life from the agents. So that's the guy. He looks like him.
From the walls.
All right, here you're gonna see something funny. I think they're playing a game on him. That's what it is. This is another simulation program. And straight into the Ah, they're great. Not so great to me.
Great Morpheus. We meet at last. You are a Smith.
Angel or Agent Smith.
Agent Smith. You look the same to me.
That's right. They're looking Anglo-Saxons, Germanic. Uh-oh. This is what I call the 3 for the price of 1. And this is the bonus. You get a bonus. Buy 3, get 1 free. He looks like that scene from Nosferatu. Remember Nosferatu? That original one, I think it was German. This guy just gets up like without needing to to hold to anything. Again, he's trying to go into the sewers, trying to sneak into the sewers, but he can't. Agent Smith will not allow him. Punch through hole, right? Punch through concrete walls. Remember what Morpheus told Neo?
Take it.
All right, here's a very, very, very good scene. Let me show you where I've seen that before. So here we go. Notice what Sam Neill is going to say.
Take him.
Take him here means the dogs means his minions, right? So what did he say? Take him, right? Look. All right.
Nearest exit Franklin area, no TV repair shop.
Right.
I don't know what the burning car is, but I think what that means is that Cypher just goes the trip or the journey to end up in a mishap, like an accident. Burning car. He's burning the car now. Again, that's a psychological spin by Morpheus, the shapeshifter.
Operator.
Type is waiting.
Is Morpheus alive?
Is Morpheus alive, Tank?
Yes. Moving, but I don't know where to begin.
He's alive. We need an exit.
Nothing from Cypher.
Cypher.
I know. It's in Franklin area.
Got it.
So Franklin and Erie. Yep, that's like a place. That's an intersection in downtown here, downtown Chicago here. I think they're intersection. They may not be intersection. An intersection. They may be parallel or something. I don't recall anymore. I haven't been in downtown Chicago for a long time.
Got it. Right. Ready to go. Good.
Okay, here what you'll see is a TV repair, supposedly a TV repair shop, right? What the TV repair shop here says, is that this is a monitoring place, right? There are places wherever you go where they keep 100% monitor or observation of a certain subject, right? Uh, uh, or that's where they monitor people. You'll always have those. In terms of computers, we call them NOC, Network Operations Center, where they monitor the systems and 24 hours a day. So in case the system coughs up or starts getting hits or degrades or is out of service, they usually call the on-call guy, right? The on-call guy, and he gets up and dials in and then try to fix the system or get functionality or the operation, resume the operation again by fixing the system or doing something. This here is something similar. They have something similar. They just observe everybody. Now, it may not be in one place altogether. It used to be probably. Now, it's in different places, and they also demonic entities. They're maybe in there with you in your apartment and you don't know it. Well, you probably do, but you're looking the other way for now. Here, I want you to pay attention to the chat between Trinity and Cypher, right?
Hello, Trinity.
Cypher, where's Tank?
As usual, they stereotype him. They never tell you he's wrong or what he's saying is not right. But guess what? They stereotype him. So you'll hate him even though he's telling the truth, right? Is that a well-known thing in history? Somebody came in history and told you the truth and what's going on and liberated you. They don't say he's wrong, right? It's impossible to refute what he's saying or prove him to be so and so. So what they do is stereotype him. He's an awkward, he's a womanizer, he's sadistic, he's a masochist, he is whatever, right? But they never tell you what he says or what he does is wrong. No. See, now they're portraying him in a situation where you will be disgusted by this man, doing what he's doing.
No.
For someone who tells the truth like Cypher does, I don't think he will he will resort to such heinous or lowly, Lowly acts.
I thought I was in love with you. I used to dream about you.
Now he doesn't have the guts to tell it to her face. Now he's telling it to her while she's asleep, right?
You're a beautiful woman, Trinity. Bad things have to turn out this way.
You killed them.
What?
Oh, God.
I'm tired, Trinity. I'm tired of this war. Tired of fighting, tired of the ship. Being cold, of eating the same goddamn goop.
Damn you, motherfucker. Eating the same goop every day, right? Being cold of eating the same goop every day, right? Like I told you earlier, Zion within, as they describe it here. If you're not a genuine child of Zion, it's not heavens, it's hell.
Most of all, I'm tired of that jack-off and all this bullshit.
Surprise, asshole.
I bet you never saw this coming, did you? God, I wish I could be there.
Notice,
Hey, Greg.
they are showing you him with two little horns here, right? You may think these are the headset, but no, they really mean to say that he's a little demon or something of the sort.
I wish I could walk in just when it happens. So right then, you know it was me.
You gave them Morpheus.
He lied to us, Trinity. He tricked us. If you would have told us the truth, we would have told you to shove that red pill right up your ass.
This guy was awakened but late, right? Who is that they mean by that? I told you earlier. I think they mean by him Muhammad, the one who told the people the truth. But Muhammad has never been part of Zion or anything, really. There was no such thing by the time he was there, at the time he was there. Or he started his mission, there was no such thing, right? Zion or whatever that is, or Matrix or Masonry. There was nothing there. They accuse him of being one of them who reneged on them like a traitor. It's not true.
And it's not true, Cypher. He set us free. Free.
He didn't set you free.
You call this free? All I do is what he tells me to.
That's right. Do you remember when he told Neo on the phone when he sent the agents to corner him in that metacortex building? He says, but you have to do exactly as I say. Remember that? Remember? Remember I told you to keep that in mind?
I have to choose between that and the Matrix. I choose the Matrix.
Well, because the Matrix, you eat food, you go to school, there's a rule of law, and that's precisely what Morpheus is against. He wants anarchy so he could return people to the animal farm where he owns them. Remember Moses the Crow?
The Matrix isn't real. I disagree.
I think the Matrix could be more real than this one.
It is actually. See this guy, now he's wearing red, right? This guy is telling you the truth, folks.
All I do
Notice the gash here on his heart. I don't know what that means. Means he doesn't have a heart or something like that.
is cold blood here. But there,
That's the metacortex.
you have to watch Apod die.
So now you wonder, why did he do APOC? You know? It just doesn't make sense, right? But they're trying here hard to stereotype and make you hate the guy. Portray him as this treacherous, as this lowly, and so on. But then again, remember, they never tell you he's wrong about what he's saying. He is stating the truth. And those TVs, remember? The TVs are watching you.
Welcome to the real world, huh, baby?
But you're outside, you can't go back.
Oh no, that's what you think. You're gonna reinsert my body. I go back to sleep, and when I wake up, I don't remember a goddamn thing. By the way, if you have anything terribly important to say to switch.
So now they put you in a sense of urgency. Why? Why? Because now he's killing everyone, so you're gonna hit him regardless what it is. This is a lie, folks. This is just stereotyping certain personality in history, and he's telling you the truth. If anyone would have liberated you, it would be Cypher.
Important to say to switch. I suggest.
And there's your dollars, right? So this could also be the stock market. I know. That's the Greeding and Frensington Institute of Economics in New York.
Say it now.
No, please don't.
Not like this.
Ah, poor Switch.
Not like this.
What's with those Kukukowskis and lipsticks, man?
Too late.
God damn you, Cypher.
Don't hate me, Trinity. I'm just a messenger.
Oh, he's just a messenger. See, that's who they mean by it. Muhammad is a messenger of God, messenger of Allah, right? That's who they mean by it, really, here. He never was one of them, nor they dictated to him anything. He was a free man, like the vast majority in this world. Basically, there was Zion, yes, but it was a very limited, isolated pockets here and there in the Middle East mainly. That's it, right? And they lived alone, isolated, nothing else really. They just lived in confinements like this.
Right now, I'm gonna prove it to you. Morpheus was right. And there's no way I can pull this off. I mean, if Neo's the one, then there'd have to be some kind of a miracle to stop him. Right? I mean, how can he be the one if he's dead?
All right, let's stop here. All right, so here is some really good information as being concealed by the scene. So you got 1 and then 3 and 3. Usually you find that into as a sign of the 1 and 6, right? You know, the 1 and there's the 6, right? So this is Zion. You will see it in modern buildings like in Moscow. You will see it in Dubai. You will see it. Even now they built something like this overseeing the Mecca, the cubic house in Mecca. You know, that tall building with crescent moon and then the three and three buildings around it, right? What they're trying to say is that the Jews are now have taken over Arabia, right? That's partially true. Yeah, yeah, that's partially true. So that's that. This is a building of Zion. So don't be deceived by whatever you see happening in there. Uh-oh. All right. So as you can see here, there's that round building, right? Round building that you saw earlier when they were in the city jumping over buildings like monkeys, right? And then there's that AAP, right? But then there is no cortex, metacortex building. You know, apparently that is what I call a animation. I used to do that myself sometimes. And then here you got West Pact or West whatever low bank, you know, and then Mulfa. I don't know what Mulfa is, so you can make out, you know, like try to decipher all these symbols in there. Maybe they're just commercials. I don't know. Norwich. Yeah, I recognize that name. Mulfa, I don't know. Oh. But then again, like I said, the metacortex building is no longer there. It's no longer there.
Beauty.
Okay, let's repeat that. So,
Never stood and stared at it, marveled at its beauty, its genius. Billions of people just living out their lives.
that's the life. Maybe that's what they mean by the matrix here now. Is that this life, right? Oblivious to what, to the war. I think he means the war between demons and angels, right? Or just the rogue angels like him, like Agent Smith. I still think this is a simulation program. Uh-oh.
Did you know that the first Matrix?
First matrix, that's perhaps heavens they're talking about. So here I am roughly sorting out roughly the assumption or the notion of war in heavens between angels and, you know, fallen angels, and that they were expelled, we were expelled from heavens, and I think that's what they're referring to. I don't know. I can see that there's plenty of bullshit here. There was no war. There was rebellion, yes, but it wasn't a war or anything of the sort.
Kind of the perfect human world, but
That's heavens,
unsuffering.
where none suffered.
Everyone would be happy.
Yeah, that's in the Quran, and later on, what is called utopia was derived from it. They tell you it was long ago before Islam. That's not true. There was nothing there before Islam.
It was a
So the description of utopia really as heavens is in the Quran and in the Prophet's tradition.
disaster. No one would accept the program. Entire crops were lost.
Why? Because according to what he's saying is we're always like cats, right? You know, we no matter what you give them, they always want better stuff.
Some believed that we lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery.
That's why we were expelled, right? This is what he's saying. Some of that is true. Some of that is true.
Suffering.
We humans learn by experience, and we develop immunity to certain things, and become aware of things, more aware. Our awareness and consciousness is sharper when we're exposed to a hardship.
Perfect.
Uh-oh.
Dream that you're primitive.
Don't worry, that's just a pill of vitamins or something like that.
Cerebral you kept trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned.
Oh, what did he say?
Species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering. The perfect world you dream that your primitive cerebrum.
Oh, primitive cerebrum. So we have primitive cerebrum. Yes and no. We have a primitive cerebrum, is that we learn by experience, but our capacity to learn is almost infinite, right? We humans, like myself, like you, like those humans who are watching here, our cerebrum has infinite capacity to learn. We become something of something unfathomable. Our abilities to learn and think and perform logic and intuition and so on. We are the top of the creation below God,
Trying to wake up from.
trying to wake up from.
Which is why the Matrix was redesigned. This, the peak of your civilization. I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about.
No, that's not true. The civilization is made by whatever there is of intelligence and civilization is made by God. Of course, the angels shared, and then we humans, and then the jinns or devils do enjoy it and live in it. But I want to show you something here. I think we missed.
Lacked the programming language to describe your perfect world, but I believe that as a species, human beings define their reality through misery and suffering.
Let me pause it.
This is all about evolution, Morpheus. Evolution. Like the dinosaur. Look out that window.
So if you looked at when Neo walked into the Oracle and where those childrens are, there was a lizard. I pointed you to a lizard on a plate and a knife next to him, right? Next to it.
You had your time.
This is not what it is, folks. They're trying to portray something that's not there. They just think and then they always trip at the end.
Future is our world, Morpheus. The future is our time.
Okay, that's your primitive cerebrum kept trying to wake up. Maybe I'm repeating this point, but somehow I neglected to resume the video. Uh, Getting carried away here. It's a little bit difficult operating a cheap or low budget studio, but you just have to bear with me, right? There we go. All right, so now cerebrum, that we human beings have primitive cerebrum. That's partially true. When we are born empty, blank of experience of. So when you get, and we learn by experience, but our capacity to learn and invent and process advanced thoughts and intuitions and logic is almost infinite. You know, what we human beings have in our heads is something that is limitless, as limitless as the universe itself. So Allah, when He created us, or God, or Allah, when He created us, He put so much capacity in us, but we're blank. We learn by knowledge. So here, again, I'm repeating the point, but I'm gonna say it again. If you get a human being, isolate them mentally, isolate them psychologically, isolate them financially, isolate them socially, isolate them educationally, academic, blank of academics, and so on and so forth. They will still be blank. They will not know how to behave or how to interact or what to do, right? But there's more than that. So now Morpheus usually administers poisons and red pills and blue pills and decapitates them and so on, as you saw when he did the original Neo or the originator. So the harassment and the abuse and so on further degrade our ability to process. But between now and then, we are able to escape that prison and then flourish and so on. And that's what he means by primitive cerebrum. But he is talking to Neo now. I mean to Morpheus. Morpheus is not us a human, according at least to the movie here. He's a shapeshifter, Morpheus, and I don't know. Demons do actually are less in intelligence than we are. but they have what's called a fixed knowledge, meaningly they endowed with certain fixed knowledge that they didn't need to work hard or experience to acquire it.
Trying to wake up from. Which is why the Matrix was redesigned to this, the peak of your civilization. I say your civilization because as soon as we started thinking for you, it really became our civilization, which is, of course, what this is all about. Yes.
I don't think so.
Evolution.
I don't think so. I don't think Morpheus had any civilization, and the agents are not thinking for him. I know history. The earliest we know of Morpheus civilization is, and it's like semi-quasi civilization, is the 8th or 9th century, right? The earliest known, and everything else is really stolen.
Like the dinosaur.
Like the dinosaur.
Look out that window. You had your time. The future is our world.
That much is true.
The future is our time.
Let's pause it here. I think.
There could be a problem.
Okay, here comes something I told you earlier about the Oracle setting up Neo for a suicide mission.
Neo, this is Loco. They've got Morpheus in a military-controlled building.
Loca means crazy in Spanish.
Even if you somehow got inside, those are agents holding him. 3 of them.
I want Morpheus back too, but what you're talking about is suicide.
There you go. Suicide.
I know that's what it looks like.
That's what they were setting him up for, suicide, right? Because they want to destroy society with terrorist acts of terrorism. So they set him up. He is the one, right?
But it's not. I can't explain to you why.
That's what I told you. What the Oracle told him. You know, you have your life. On the other hand, you have yours. And Morpheus, which one would be up to you?
Morpheus believed something. And he was ready to give his life for what he believed. I understand that now. That's why I have to go.
The guy is tricked. The guy is psychologically so woven, so set up, so destroyed, so cheated that he believes the narrative now himself that Morpheus was gonna give up his life for Neo. It's not true.
Why? Because I believe in something.
What?
I believe I can bring him back.
Notice now he's jumping. He's why we humans are emotional. We like to have a sense of gratitude and pay back debt that is owed to others on us. And now the guy wanted to sacrifice his life to rescue him. So Neo is going to know he's going to reciprocate the faith with him.
What are you doing?
Going with you.
No, you're not.
No? Let me tell you what I believe. I believe Morpheus means more to me than just to you. I believe if you are really serious about saving him, you are going to need my help. And since I am the ranking officer on this ship, if you don't like it, I believe you can go to hell.
He can go to hell, right? But notice what she follows that sentence with another ominous and ominous declaration.
Because you're not going anywhere else.
Because you're not going anywhere else. See, ever since he was cloned and he was put into Zion, that's where he's going. He's not going anywhere else really, but to hell. They know that.
Tank. Lotus coming.
All right, here you'd see the chair, right, being pulled by Agent Smith or Angel Smith. And then I counted 5, 5, 5, right? 15, 20, 25. But Agent Smith put his finger on number 24, right? Or 23 maybe, right? So you got 23, and then you got 2, right? So that means something. It's not the haphazard or accidental act by Agent Smith. I love those chairs.
I'd like to share a revelation that I've had during my time here. It came to me when I tried to classify your species.
Yeah, I have hard time doing that too.
I realized that you're not actually mammals.
Yeah, I don't think so. They're spirits, not spirits, like evil spirits floating in the air. They fly from one building, leap from one building to another. Get it?
Every mammal on this planet instinctively develops a natural equilibrium with the surrounding environment.
That's not Zion. Wow.
You humans do not.
He calls them humans. I really don't think that's the case. I have evidence now that may not be the case.
You move to an area and you multiply and multiply until every natural resource is consumed.
No, that's not true. Well, partially true. We consume resources, but some of us learn by way of cipher to maintain, be kind to earth and human animals, and.
The only way you can survive is to spread to another area.
Okay, so what he means by that is, I would say he's talking about financial and property and values. They're like suction cups. They had been all to Grading and Frensington Institute of Economics in New York. They just, once you get a neighbor like this, guess what? You better watch out for your pockets.
There is another organism on this planet that follows the same pattern.
Uh-huh.
Do you know what it is? A virus.
You may think he's just being like vulgar and using like profanity and condescending and so on, but the concept of becoming a virus is really in this book. You will find it there. He tries to make some people of his, right, this guy here, act like viruses. He mentions the word virus in that book. Go ahead and read it, but I don't know. I don't want to advise you of that, but if you're really secure in your intuition and in your knowledge and immune from trickery and so on, or abnormal psychology, go ahead and read it.
Human beings are a disease.
Not humans, man. Devils are. Satans of humans and devils.
Cancer of this planet. You are
Cancer is true. Some of those are cancer.
plague. We are the cure. Okay, so what do you need? Besides a miracle. Guns. Lots of guns.
I don't know what the heck that is. It looks like occultic signs to me all over this place here. I thought they were like Hebrew letters, but not all of them. Some of them may resemble, but not really. And if you call on Zion, guess what? They going to they're arms dealers, and oh man, they command a whole host of arms and weaponry and manufacturing and states and soldiers. And again, we're talking boots here, right? Again, what's with Kukukowskis and lipsticks, man?
Neo, no one has ever done anything like this.
That's why it's going to work.
But do you remember what Morpheus said? You will beat them because they have rules. They work by rules. You, Neo, and now your Sun Tzu, your ends justify means, the prince. You're someone who doesn't have honor, code of honor, or chivalry, or anything else. All that is dead. So you come from where they don't see you and then stab him in the back. Is what Neo has become. All right.
Why isn't the serum working? Perhaps we're asking the wrong questions. Leave me with it. Now. Hold on, Morpheus. Coming for you. Coming. Can you hear me, Morpheus? I'm going to be honest with you. I hate this place. This zoo, this prison, this reality, whatever you want to call it. I can't stand it any longer.
He's right. Morpheus made this world the zoo, right? Called Animal Farm, and what they're also trying to say is Agent Smith or Angel Smith is tired of this whole bullshit, this fight and this whatever it is. He just wants to leave this planet, right? I don't think angels get tired. I know, in fact, they don't get tired of this fight or whatever it is. But some of them actually, I don't know, the demons and some of those angels do actually rebel and in between now and then. They're going to regret it. That's all I can tell you.
It's the smell. Is there such a thing?
If there's such a thing. Okay, I'm gonna stop it here because here it's just. All right, there go the boots. Let me tell you what the boots are. Here's what Rabbi George Orwell or Eric Arthur Blair said about the boots. If you want to picture the future, imagine a boot stamping on a human face forever. I think that's what they're trying to say here. I don't know. I think so. So here you count, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red, 2 green and 8 red. I don't know what that means. 8 is super 8, right? And then 2 greens. What are the 2 greens here? Beats me. Maybe they're Shiites. Shiitas. One day Oliver North, remember Oliver North, who swore he never been racist or anything like that, or never stated as such? I remember him telling a joke during the Iraq War, saying that his daughter asked him, what's the difference between the sunnies and the shitties? I took offense with the sunnies. All right. And of course, Neo here is, who is really the 28 or whatever that is, 8 and the 2. And guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna shoot cops, that's all.
Please remove any metallic items you're carrying. Keys, loose change.
Alright, so I'm gonna pause it here. So that's what Morpheus, Rabbi Shapeshifter Morpheus is looking for, dead cops and disorder and anarchy and shooting and killing, and he just doesn't like this world to continue as is. He wants it to be destroyed so humans will live like those humans, marauding and raiding the crop fields of the monkeys in Planet of the Apes. And then what you're going to see is that these two now are going to perform supernatural act. And this is now no longer, it's now blue, right? 10 blue. So you're going to see them walk on walls and stuff. And now they're wearing the black clothes, which is reminiscent or signify or, that they're Jews, right? Jews usually wear black clothes, right? And then sunglasses, right? But they're nice clothes, so they won't look like ragged, like vagabonds or homeless or something of the sort. I assure you, you don't want to shoot it out with the police. They're sharpshooters, man. That's not possible. So they want to destroy buildings and. I notice she's doing the same act, the same feat as she did in that city hoarding room when she killed the 4 officers. She's walking on walls. Yeah, you get music too. Let me freeze it here. I got some personal experience with this. One day, in from my window here, where I'm sitting now, I could see the dumpsters, right? And then a neighbor who moved supposedly to Texas took out one of those metallic bags, right? Exactly same type, exactly same look, exactly same thing, exact same thing. And without opening it, he threw it in the dumpster right there. And then eventually he moved to Texas. He looked as Zionist to me, but to me he looked like Zionist to me, right? I don't know what's in there, but what's in there is very clear here. I never asked him, really. I never asked him what's in there. Let's try to find out. So one, I don't know, 6, 7, 7th floor? I don't know. 4-1. So they are terrorists.
I think they're trying to save him.
Okay, notice the hug, right? Here they say sometimes they're joined at the hip. But listen to what he's gonna say. And here your mind would go like there's something between the two. There's no spoon, meaning there's no sexual. These guys are non-sexual, is what he's saying. So don't get carried away by the fact that they're hugging each other. This is only for as a utility to rise to be like to hold together so as they rise up in the elevator shaft. So there's no spoon. So if you thought if there's anything between these two, he just told you there's no spoon. And they're rising up in the air. Apparently, whatever is relative, Jesus was born from immaculate conception, remember? And now he's rising up into heavens or something of the sort. 4-1, remember? 4-1. Like they do that sometimes, 4-1. I don't know what that means. 4-1, who is the one, right? I need to clip my fingernails. So that was that metallic case just exploded. So they're terrorists. Something like this happened in New York. Remember what's his name, Ramsey or whatever it is? Well, they say he is. I don't know if he is, but it could be these Fax, Neo, and what's his name? What's her name? Trinity. Maybe they're the ones who put it there. Sometimes I wonder if they do that terrorist act because they want you to psychologically think of the movie as well, and now you hate those people, and they're burning whatever is red here, right? And that's why they did their terrorist act, is because they want to rescue, because this guy is, according to this movie, is done wrong, and now they're in blue, right? Yeah, this is a guy who was shooting at the wall, who said they're in the walls. Nice, that's fight on the roof. That's where pigeons do land and so on. Here it says legal and whatever. That's them again, right? Legal and whoever. Wow. Just pierced the skull. I mean, she got to be really. That's magic, man. That's like supernatural acts. Yeah, this I know. Ernst and Young, they're consultants. I never worked for them, but I remember them. They consult for computers as well. Computer consulting. Uh-oh. Now you're gonna see like supernatural acts.
Dodge this.
Oh well, he owes them his life now. But there was a moment in life when I thought Trinity had an earnest moment, sincere moment. I saw it in her face. That's Kim. Remember I told you about Kim? There's Kim. Not kill your mother, but Kim. Alright, let me freeze it here. So here, again, Kukowskis lose their narrative, right? I thought those agents are not affected by bullets. You know, Morpheus said he's seen people shoot an entire magazine at them only to hit nothing but air. Remember? All right, I think we covered good ground here today, and I got a little bit disconnected in the middle, but you will be able to sort out the ideas and the commentary about this movie of horror. Have a nice day, my friends. I'll see you tomorrow.